Journalists around the world are being targeted as authoritarian governments try to tighten their grip on the media. A new study by Reporters Without Borders says a cycle of fear is diminishing press freedoms around the world and in America. Some call it an attack on the pillars of democracy.
It's the journalists really on the front lines of holding governments accountable and providing transparency. What is happening to people's rights, how their tax money is spent. And without journalists, governments can implement policies which restrict those rights, and corruption thrives.
Cyber attacks, arrests, and kidnappings are some of the tactics being used to intimidate members of the press, and in some cases, murder. China and North Korea remain listed among the worst offenders in the report. The United States saw a slight decline, dropping 3 points for a problematic climate where reports critical of some in high office is sometimes labeled fake news. Still, journalists say the U.S. Constitution protects and empowers them to continue the work.
And that's the difference between us and a lot of the other countries, which is the rule of law. The rule of law exists, and it's by and large respected, and that makes a huge difference between us and the rest of the world. For example, even though Voice of America is funded by the U.S. government, we have laws that keep us separate. So we are truly an independent voice.
In the Philippines, continued threats by President Rodrigo Duterte against the media have contributed to hostilities in a nation once applauded for having one of the greatest press freedoms in Asia. Media watchdogs say his most notable attacks have been against the media outlet Rappler.
If you look in the last 14 months, the Philippine government has filed 11 cases against us. In 2 months, I've had to post bail 8 times, and in just 5 weeks, I was arrested twice and detained once. That is an extreme erosion of our freedoms.
In April, Myanmar's top court upheld a 7-year jail sentence for 2 Reuters journalists who were arrested while investigating the killings of Rohingya Muslims in 2017.
The case was clearly a setup. It was clear in every aspect. One of the police witnesses said he had had notes of the arrest, but he had burned his notes. Another one came in with writing on the side of his hand so he could remember what to say. A third one came in and said that they were instructed to set up our reporters. There's no question that they were arrested because they were reporting on this massacre.
Norway received the highest rank, while the overall numbers of countries considered safe for the media declined. Jesusemen, VOA News, Washington.